Hello there. This is Dr. Natasha Oquendo. Thank you for joining me in the series Invitation to Queendom Book Club. This is based on my new book, Invitation to Queendom: 7 Keys to Unlocking Your God-Given Superpower. Now, this is segment 4. If you haven't already, check out 1, 2, and 3 so you can get in alignment with what is going on right here, right? So listen, today we're talking about, in this particular segment, your defining moment. So when you talk about a defining moment, it is when you reach a point in your life that urges you to make a decision. Most times your defining moment is found within crises or found within multiple trials or multiple things that are going on in your life. It is a present, right? It is a present set of circumstances, right? Your defining moment that significantly impacts your life and changes the trajectory of your future. So literally the defining moment comes and it challenges you or forces you to have to make a decision. It's like being in the valley of decision, seeing which way I need to go. And normally a set of circumstances or situations happens back to back to back to get you to this place. Your defining moment, it is the point when the true nature and character of an individual is revealed. So that defining moment reveals who you really are, whether that is some negative aspects of who you are that needs to be worked on, or it brings the best out of you. Maybe you hit that critical mass where your true potential starts to show forth. So when we're talking about the defining moment, it is a point when what something truly is about, it is made clear. So what everything that you have gone through is starting to be made clear and you're having to make a decision. And so within that, this question derived, and I have it within Invitation to Queendom, and I'm going to read an excerpt from the book. But I'm asking the question, will you be made whole? Now, this question derived with Jesus, with the men near the pool of Bethesda who had been there like 38 years. And Jesus encountered him. He was waiting on the angel of the Lord to trouble the water. And the angel of the Lord would show up periodically to do this. And every time, this particular man, every time the angel troubled the water, and this is what he's describing to Jesus, someone would beat him to the pool, or he had no one to help him get to the pool, or all of these things, right? So all of these excuses were in place. And so I'm saying that to say that defining moment literally gets you to the place to challenge all the excuses, because you know that something needs to change. The trajectory of your life needs to shift, and it's going to shift anyway, but it's dependent on how you choose, as in the decision that you make, right? Whether that trajectory is going to be in a beneficial direction, or whether you choose that trajectory to take you spiraling even further downward, right? So here was this man, he encountered Jesus, and he was at a defining moment. There had been different situations, 38 years worth of situations. So it was built up to made this critical mass, right? So at this point, you think about it, he's tired, something needs to happen. He's at that defining moment. And so here it is. I wanted to, kind of rearrange the question a little bit. So will you be made whole? I'm trying to make this personable for you, right? Will you be made whole, or will you be healed? Maybe you need healing, whether it is physical healing, maybe it is something, maybe you got a bad health report or something of that nature. I know with myself, I went through that. Will you be made whole? Will you be healed? And just thinking that something major was wrong with me, but it really wasn't. But I went to the hospital, and all of these things hit a defining moment where I just decided, let me lose the weight. I don't want this to come back and bite me. Let me go ahead and lose the weight. Let me go ahead and put a routine or a regimen in place because I have things to do, right? I have levels to go to. I have work to do. And so, will you be healed? Have you met that defining moment where you make a decision to be healed? Maybe it's mentally or emotionally. Maybe it's spiritually and financially, right? Have you just hit that defining moment where you saying, look, something has to change. I'm getting ready to do something different, right? Will you be made better or will you succeed? Only you know what that is for you, right? And it can be even various things because it's a never ending thing. You always come to that defining moment in areas, right? In streams, it may be health right here, but then it may be your finances right here. Or then it may be your business right here, or your ministry right here, or your relationship right there, right? And so with that being said, I'm going to reframe the question a little bit. And I'm doing this for a reason. Because Jesus said, will you be made whole, right? This is what he asked the man. And so I want to ask it like this. Is it your will to be made whole? Is it your will to succeed? Is it your will to be healed? Is it your will to reach your potential? Is it your will to reach your goal? Is it your will to finish that book? Is it your will to take your business to the next level? Is it your will, right, to be emotionally stable and emotionally intelligent? Is it your will, right, to have some attitude restraint and to be better? Is it your will? Right. And so look at this. Because when I think about your will, what your will is really saying to you is make a decision. And not only make a decision, incite action along with that decision. We're talking about your will. So let's read this. I'm going to go to page 51 of Invitation to Queendom. And let's read a little bit. Now, it says this. And so I rephrased the question. Is it your will to be made whole? Is it your will to be healed? Is it your will to succeed? Is it your will to obey God and what he's called you to do or chosen you to do? Is it your will? So listen to this. I'm reading page 51. Let's look at the word will. Will means the faculty by which a person decides on and initiates action. So two things happening. You decide and then you initiate action to line up with what you decided. Now, in other words, based on this definition, let me ask it like this. How long has it taken you to make the solid decision and initiate the action it's going to take for you to be made whole? How long? It took this man 38 years. How long is it going to take you? Right? Because some synonyms for the word will are decision, determination, willpower, drive, tenacity, dedication, and single-mindedness. So let's tap that a little bit. Have you made the decision to be made whole or to be healed or to achieve your goal, right? Are you determined? As we talking about will. Do you have enough determination within you to bring it to pass, to bring it into manifestation, right? And you're going to need that determination when it comes to what you want to accomplish in any of these areas, because there are going to be many things that can stop you, but you need to use that as the fuel to give you the willpower, right? Willpower is one. Drive. Do you have the drive? Do you have the tenacity, right? Are you dedicated to bringing this thing to pass, to come into this place, right? Are you single-minded about it? Not double-minded, because the Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways and look to receive nothing from the Lord. So when you're double-minded and unstable in your ways, that means you're flip-flopping in your way. 1 minute you're on, 1 minute you off. And we've all been there, right? We've all done it like that. until we hit a real defining moment. What is that defining moment for you? How much it's going to take to go on? For how long does it need to happen, right? So look at this. The decision, determination, and willpower to be made whole cannot come from outside sources. Are you hearing that? It must come from within you. So that decision to be made whole, it cannot come from outside sources. Why is that? Because you will not bring it to fruition. If it's outside reasons, outside of yourself, you won't have enough determination or willpower to bring it to pass. So that's really, really good. Listen at this. So it says, this man's healing was not held up because no one would put him into the pool. He said that. Or the fact that people beat him getting into the pool. The problem was his own will to be made whole. For 38 long years, he didn't have enough drive, determination, or willpower to be healed. Think about it. There were multitudes of people around that pool waiting for the moving of the water to get in it. Just like there are multitudes of us out here now waiting on the season for God to move and heal our conditions, heal our situations, and make us whole. You know how that is. We're out here waiting on God when God is waiting on our will, right? To get enough willpower and determination to succeed, right? Whether that's financially, whether that's relationally, whether that's economically, whether that is academically, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, in every way, right? Socially, everything. Look at this. It says, but God is looking for us to single-mindedly decide to be whole. He's looking for us to not flip-flop and be wishy-washy on this, but to decide and stand on it, right? Who has the drive, dedication, tenacity, determination, and willpower to believe and take action? How long have you been in your situation or condition? Are you tired enough of your condition that when Jesus shows up, you will obey his words and make the moves necessary for change? Because it's going to take your full participation. Are you hearing this? Now, I noticed in the passage that once the man decided to obey what Jesus told him to do, which was to rise, take up your bed and walk, the man did not have to wait for the angel to trouble any water or beat anyone else getting into a pool. See, when you make a decision, you don't have to wait for somebody to come and rescue you, because somebody may not come to save you. They may not. And it's not that people are being mean. Some of them are. But some people are just consumed with their own life situations and circumstances and got a lot going on, just as you do, right? Because we're all human. But when you make a decision for real and your will gets involved and what you desire grows legs and decides to put action to something, then you don't have to wait on nothing else, right? Look at this. When his will decided, he was no longer bound to the traditional way of the pool. His healing came immediately. No more excuses. No more waiting. You better catch this one in the spirit. Will you? Listen, that part, will you? Will you be made whole? Will you answer your calling? Will you start moving in your potential? Will you start walking out the processes for your purpose to be fulfilled? Right? And so let me read a quote from the book, right? I have a quote here and I'll end it out in this. The woman who has decided that wholeness is her portion, or the man who decides that wholeness is his portion, will pursue it with everything she's got or he's got and settle for nothing less than victory. This is when you know your decision was serious and you were being accountable to yourself, right? You're showing yourself accountability by deciding and sticking to it and deciding in such a way that it provokes you into action to fulfill that thing. Listen, you are at a defining moment. I know I'm talking to somebody. It's a lot going on all around you. And you are that factor that's right there in the middle. Everything is going on around you. And it is pushing you to decide. Use it as fuel. Make the decision and put it into action. Will you? This is Dr. Natasha Oquendo. Do me a favor. Go ahead and if you have questions or make comments, I would love to hear your take or hear what how it is actually dealing with you, this particular part of the series. Listen, make a decision. Make a decision. Put your willpower to it and move in it. Some things are going to happen greatly for you when you do. Till next time, be blessed.